Okay, so we're starting the sixth perek. Yesh ra'a asher ra'iti tachat hashamesh. There is something bad, right? That I saw under the sun. Now we don't need to explain under the sun in the behavior of people that are reactional, that are emotional, that are instinctive, right? Ve'rabbahi al ha'adam, and it's very common by men, very common by men. What is it? Hold on one second. What is it? Ish asher yiten lo ha'elokim osher is the man that Hashem gave wealth to. Okay. Now, I want to put things in perspective here for a second. Shlomo HaMelech is about to introduce, okay, or continue the unhealthy relationship a person can have with wealth. Okay, but not to the extent of what we've addressed until now, which was terrible, but to the foolishness of a person and his thing. It's not his overkill to need to own and to need to control, but just a foolish behavior that a lot of people have. Okay? That is addressed in the relationship with money. That means basically not good. Good? So we're not, I just want to put, I'm putting things back in perspective, okay? Okay? Very good?
Great.
Okay. So, okay, yesh ra'a, there's something bad. Asher ra'iti tachat hashamesh, that I see under the sun. Okay? Ve'rabahi al adam. And you find it, okay, so ve'rabahi al adam, Rashi says, like we said earlier, like it's very common in a lot of people. And it could be also, it's something that is found, that has a strong impact. Okay? That's a strong impact. Okay, what is it? Ish asher yiten lo ha'elokim osher. Hashem has given him, based on his behavior, on his actions, a lot of wealth. That's why it says Elokim. Let's remember. Elokim is what? Is Hashem's interaction with men through nature. So man, through his action, created a dynamic that led to Parnasa, that led to Ashirut, to wealth. V'nechasim, and he amassed real estate. V'kavod, and he got kavod. So this is a very satisfied man. He has everything. He has money. He has properties. He's respected. And now, kavod is not. This is kavod of Shlomo HaMelech. Yeah.
Not below the sun.
It's like super uber kavod. We're not talking about the kavod of the Bronx. We're coming with serious kavod. The enenu haser lenafsho. He's not missing anything. There's nothing that's missing in him. Nothing. He has everything. Mikol asher itave. From anything that he wanted, anything that he desires, anything that he craves, he got. Velo yashlitenu ha'elohim le'echol mimenu. And okay, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't allow him to really enjoy it. ולא ישליטנו לאכול ממנו. There is הנאה, there is a superficial enjoyment, and then there is eating. There is a physical enjoyment. Meaning,
we said eating was Torah.
correct. Vital, things that are vital, so things that are essential.
Rob,
So-
go for it. You look like you're worried about how it's going to come out.
No, yes, I don't want. Yeah.
It's okay. Go for it.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Basically, what he's saying is that there's two type of ana'ah. There's the ana'ah of knowing you have it, meaning you see the apple, you want to eat it, right? And you see it, and it's in front of you, and it looks beautiful, and it's yours, but you will never eat it. Okay? So he says he has all this. He has the wealth, he has the kavod, he has the power, he has everything, and everything is at the palm of his hand. It's in front of him. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not allow him to eat it. Does not allow him to benefit from it. Ki ish nochri yochelenu. And not only that, but a stranger will end up enjoying it.
Oh boy.
A stranger doesn't mean somebody you don't know. It's just a stranger to your efforts. Meaning somebody that didn't toil with you, that with the person. זה הבל וחולי רע הוא. Says here the Shlomo HaMelech is doing a sashimi slice in the oneg, in the pleasure. And it introduces that there are levels of pleasure, meaning most people, once they know that they own something, that's it, they have it. I'll give you an example. You want a nice car. You crave it until you have it, right? Once you have it, maybe a week or 2 weeks, and that's it. That's it. You have it. You couldn't care less, right? So there is a pleasure of knowing that you own something, but that you don't benefit from. Good. It's like a jewelry. It's like you buy jewelry to your wife. She loves it. She knows she has it. She enjoys the thought of having it, but it's in a safe and she never wears it. So she's not enjoying it. She's really not enjoying it. So what is the simcha? What is the enjoyment that she gets? It's a thought. It's a thought. It's a thought that you know that it's there. Says Shlomo HaMelech, a lot of people that have everything decide to be satisfied or to think that they are satisfied, but in reality they cannot create vitality, they cannot create anything from all that wealth and that kavod, because it's taken away from them. Hashem does not allow it. And not only that, but the person will be able to even see that there's somebody else that's going to end up enjoying from it. For example, you own a boat, right? But you never own it. Yet others, your friends or whatever it is, they're always on it. They're enjoying it. You're not. The only enjoyment you have is that you know that it's yours. It comes with all the headaches. Yeah.
That's why the best boat is your friend's boat.
Yeah, that's right.
But you could get enjoyment of
I'm not talking about the
knowing
chesed
that they're
of
enjoying
allowing
it.
your friends. Yes, that's this. Yes, but we're not talking about that. We're talking now about the actual boat, not what you do with it. Okay. It's a very bad sickness. Meaning, it shows that the person is a servant of what he owns.
He's never used evil disease before to describe something so far.
No, he did. Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. We used it one time before, or maybe twice. Hold on. Yeah, we've seen it in the. I'll find it. Yeah, but we did.
Okay.
We did see it.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, we did see it. So it's a sickness. Why is that terrible? Why is that terrible? It's because you see something, you have access to something, you own it, but you don't have the pleasure from it. You cannot enjoy it. Says Shlomo HaMelech, "Im yolit ish me'a v'shanim rabot." If a man can have 100 kids, live a super long life, v'rav, and he has everything. שיהיו 600 שנה ונפשו לא תשבע מן הטובה וגם כבורה לא הייתה לו, אמרתי טוב ממנו עד נפל. This guy, at the end, he had everything, but he was never filled. He was never satisfied. Never satisfied. It's not that he didn't have, he had everything, but he was not satisfied. This person is worse, his situation is worse than a nefel. A nefel is an embryo.
To abort.
Yes, and when a woman chas v'sham loses a baby. Why? כי בהבל בא ובחושך ילך ובחושך שמו יכוסה. The nefel, right? He was in the dark, went back to the dark, meaning he didn't have any real exposure to anything. Goes back to darkness and has no name. גם שמש לא ראה ולא ידע. He never saw the sun. He never understood it. נחת לזה מזה. But it's better. He's nahat, the peace, right? The level of peace is much better for that baby that was lost than for a man that we just spoke about. Okay. Here Shlomo HaMelech is basically addressing the following. He says, and he spoke about it very quickly in the last perek, at the end of the last perek, that it's important for a person to appreciate and enjoy the blessings that he was blessed with. Because at the end of the day, that's what he has, and he has to know what to do with it. The problem is how do you identify satisfaction? Shlomo HaMelech here, he says, what was the problem? He was never filled. He felt never filled from the good. That means he has a lot of good, but it was never enough. He never allowed himself to feel satisfied. Now, the satisfaction.
That's very scary.
Huh?
That's a very scary concept.
Yes. So because of that, okay, Hashem took away his ability to eat, to enjoy. If you don't allow yourself to be satisfied from your beracha, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take away your ability to enjoy. If you don't want to enjoy, he will make sure you don't enjoy. Now,
Wow.
yes. Now, obviously, we need to understand why. Omer Rashi, Rashi tells us why lo tizva, why he's not satisfied. Eno samer bechelko. He's never happy with what he has. Doesn't matter. It's so now there's a trait in the person, okay, a trait in the person, a bad trait, that's called I'm never happy with what I have. Doesn't matter what you give me, there's always a problem. There's always something wrong.
Rob, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Here it says, this situation is called a bad sickness because practically cannot be cured. Akedat Yitzchak.
Yes, that's Rabbi Yitzchak Arama. There's a big machloket to that. Akedat Yitzchak is Rabbi Yitzchak Arama. That's that I brought earlier before we started the shiur on the 12 perakim, right? We said why the question. No, no, but time out. It's a big machloket whether you can cure or you cannot cure.
Okay.
Okay, Rabbi Yitzchak Arama holds that you cannot. Okay, but most mefarshim disagree with Rabbi Yitzchak Arama and hold that you can cure. It's just extremely hard. According to the Rambam, for sure you can cure it.
I read Rambam's the curing of the nefesh. That I forget which book it is in.
The 8 chapters of the Rambam.
Yeah, so I read that it's hard. It's not easy to implement.
Well, listen, we have shurim on that at length. You know,
maybe that's on deck.
Be'ezrat Hashem. That I wrote a book on it. Huh?
We're always mentioning Rambam. What is the right books to read of the Rambam?
Okay, we're going to get there. There's a lot. Every writings of the Rambam are fantastic. You need to understand who the Rambam was in order who he's talking to put things in perspective and understand what he's saying.
Okay. You know how you by the way, Rob, sorry to interrupt, but a quick diversion, but somewhat related. My dad told the story of your story to his son. He told them about the chess and the checkers. Yeah. And I'll tell you a story about my dad quickly and what he did to me when I was 12 years old. He came into the living room and he told me, I'm giving you a book, and if it's the only book you read in your life, it'll be worth it. And he gave me Rambam's Hilchot Deot, and I read it when I was 12 years old. And it was like, yeah, for real. I'll never forget it, in my Brooklyn living room. And I read it when I was 12, and I had to read it a year ago, like when I was actually old enough to understand it. But
I'm still trying to understand it.
Well, listen, we just keep reading it, right? And every time you read it, you learn more. It's like a well.
So Rob, it seems like the only way to be satisfied, which is ironic, is to not have an attachment to material things, right? If you don't. No,
one second. Let's time out. I want to continue. Yes, you're right. But I need to go back to where we left because it's very important. You know, I'm trying to build, what Shlomo Amer is trying to teach us here. Okay? So, we started by saying there's fact. There's a phenomenon in life where you have people that have everything. They enjoy seeing it, but they are never really benefiting from it. The reason is because they're never satisfied. The reason they're never satisfied is because there is a trait said in human nature that is called I'm never happy with what I have. So if you're never happy with what you have, you can never be satisfied. You can never be satisfied. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make sure that you never satisfy yourself, no matter what you get. You understand? There's a midah keneged midah here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is extremely accurate with what he allows you to get from nature. And that is depending on how you behave, from an action point of view to all the way to an emotional point of view. So if you're never satisfied, then he's going to make sure that whatever you get has never satisfaction. Now, every one of us, and this is what we need to clarify, every one of us, okay, the human being is a person that always wants more. יש לו מנה, רוצה 200. אוהב כסף, לא ישבע כסף. You love money, you're never filled with money. You have 100, you need 200. אין אדם מת וחצי תאוותו בידו. Chachamim say us, a person dies with 50% of his desire fulfilled. Okay? So there is, and we explained where that comes from the neshama, that is an endless power of absorbance, of need, okay, that should be channeled towards the Torah, but instead it's channeled towards physicality and materialism, and therefore it's never enough, no matter what you get. Okay, that's what we said. But I want to dive in this concept of Sameach, Eno Sameach B'Chelko. Ezehu Ashir, who is the Ashir? Sameach B'Chelko, Chachamim tell us, right? The Ashir is the one that satisfies with what he has. That's happy, not satisfied, happy with what he has. So, there is the following. There is an instinctive nature that pushes humanity to evolution. Meaning, we spoke about the kinat sofrim, about the jealousy between people, and how, oh, you have this, I have to have that. Oh, you have this, I have to have that. In knowledge, it's the same thing. Oh, you know, you're Talmid Chacham, want to become a beggar Talmid Chacham. Oh, you say that Hiddush, I need to say that Hiddush, right? So there is a healthy, and I'm not talking about the jealousy, but there is a competition. The competitive, okay, nature of human allows humanity to progress and evolve. This is very good. When you go in the morning and you want to make it, and you want to progress, and you want to be able to be successful, that's absolutely fine, okay? Now, we cannot identify this as saying, well, and you're not happy with what you have, because if you were happy with what you have, you wouldn't go back to war. That's not true. I go back to war because I want to evolve, I want to grow, I want to develop, I want to benefit people. I want to push. Absolutely fine. It's a blessing. It's a koach that we need to have. It's the willpower that lives within us. That's the neshama. There is a loss in translation from that power on. Why? Because from that point on, okay, if I believe, okay, that what I'm about to do, okay, is me, it's my ego, it comes from me, okay? So your me is never satisfied because your me is your neshama. But if you understand that what you're doing is for a purpose, right? So you can be satisfied, even if the purpose is still not fulfilled, because you know that you're on your way to the purpose. Good? If you become the purpose, it's catastrophe. If you have a purpose, it's healthy, it's good. When you become the purpose, you're never satisfied. You're never satisfied. It's never enough. And even what you have, it will never be enough. You know why? Because it's the nature of humans. We are all wired with the same neshama. So if you believe and you live under the sun, introduction of Shlomo HaMelech, Ra'at Tahat HaShemesh, okay? If you believe that all you are is physicality, pleasures, instinctive emotions, no problem. So if you are that, you will never be able to be satisfied. This is the problem. The root of the problem is that you think that you are the tachlit. That the end goal is your satisfaction, is your pleasure, it's you. You need to get to a place, to an emotion, to a status. So everything revolves around you. But the problem is that you or any one of us or any human being, according to the Rambam for sure, okay, that has a neshama, then that neshama will never be satisfied from that. It's just impossible. It's just impossible. So by default, you choosing to be the purpose, put yourself in default, put yourself in jeopardy, and start destroying your own life. Even if your actions from the outside looks amazing. They look amazing. You do the right thing, you put your tefillin, you give your tzedakah, you're the nicest guy, you behave, you're at every charity, you speak well, you influence well. But the purpose of all this is you. If the purpose of all this is you, and you cannot, it's impossible for you to be satisfied with physicality and materialism. So by default, everything you're going to get will be missing that component. This person, I'm not done, this person has chosen subconsciously a dynamic that will yield exactly what he's looking for. Good? You're the purpose. I'm going to give you everything you want. I'll give you the kavod. I'll give you parnasa. I'll give you wealth. I'll give you everything. What you want, you get. But the part of you, okay, that can never be satisfied with materialism, that's called neshama, is missing in everything that you have. That means that everything that you have is missing what? It's missing your neshama, the satisfaction of your neshama. And this is a holy, says Shlomo HaMelech. This is a terrible sickness. A terrible sickness. And what it yields, what it brings a person to, and that's the slaughtering part of the pasuk. Vegam kevura lo hayta lo. He doesn't even have a proper burial. Meaning even that component of kavod disappeared. Rashi says, or Rashi talks, he says that Shlomo HaMelech is talking about Achav, and that he ended up being eaten by dogs. Okay, that's very drastic. But come Shlomo, if you are physicality, if you choose that this is the purpose, that you are the purpose, and who is the you under the sun, then it's not shayach. It's not shayach to have a burial. Why? Because the whole purpose of burial is the kavod of the guf in order to allow the neshama to go up. But if you never had the neshama, if you never chose that the neshama is you, if you never wanted the neshama as part of your purpose, so there's no room for your neshama. There's no room for your neshama. There's no room for a kever. There's no room for a kevura. Do you understand how accurate and how impactful such a simple perspective in life can do? What is your tachlit? What is your purpose? In Shmone Prakim le'Rambam, the Rambam in the 6th or 7th perek, 6th perek, if I'm not mistaken, introduces the importance of a tachlit, of a purpose. And he says, Oy vavoy, be careful not to lose, not to misconcept what the purpose really means in life. The flip side of that is that if you understand that you will never be satisfied by physicality and materialism, because the satisfaction is the neshama, okay? The real simcha is the neshama. So that cannot be. It's impossible that you will let that be your factor, your guide, and your purpose, right? So you're going to have a purpose, and yes, you're going to use all this for a purpose. Now, as long as you know that you're growing and you're getting closer to the end result, to your purpose, but that you're happy. But that you're happy, and that you're satisfied, and that you're an ashir, because now you're appreciating the journey instead of thinking that you are the journey. You're not the journey. You're on a journey. Please, stand me.
I'm digesting now. Now I need to digest that.
Okay.
Rob, this is the main disease of the world today.
Yeah. I think that, you know, I don't know if I told you guys that, but you know, you call it keter, right? Corona is a crown, right? It looks like a crown. That's why it's called corona, because it looks like a crown, yeah? And the crown is a keter. Okay. But it's also called COVID. COVID, it comes from the word kavod. Hashem is taking back his crown and his kavod. You think you are the crown, you think that the kavod is all yours. No, Habibi, I'm going to put you, each and every one of you, back in your hole, on your own, and I'm going to show you who really owns the kavod and to who goes the crown. Every morning we say in the prayer that the wealth and the kavod is all yours, Hashem. And you control it. You control it. You control it.
Okay, I'm ready for a question.
Absolutely. The sickness of the generation is that. And what we're going through is to try to reset and recalibrate our generation to deal with that.
Unbelievable.
So, Rav.
Yeah.
So let's put business and money on the side for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You there?
Yeah.
So let's take something in a different category, and I use it as an example because I could relate to it because it's something that I do. So playing sports, okay?
Yeah.
It's a physical act, right?
Yeah.
Now, it does benefit your health, right? So that's a purpose. Is there anything outside of benefiting your health that sports serves?
For some people, yeah.
What could it even be?
To be the best.
That doesn't sound like it's above the sun.
That's definitely not above the sun. I'm just saying, is there a purpose? That people could take this as a purpose.
We're not asking what people will think. I'm asking about as it relates to what we're talking about.
Health. Yes, health.
No,
health.
outside of health.
Except for health?
Yeah.
It could be a social thing. It could be a social thing that you want to be able to enjoy with people an intense moment with your friend, and it's a way to connect. And you want to play the tennis or you want to play basketball.
It could sharpen your mind also.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't just have to be physical. Chess sharpens your mind the same way tennis can sharpen your mind.
Right. So as an example, so I'll tell you, for me personally, I think the teachings of Kohelet has helped me shift my mentality from it being an ego play where I need to be the best. I need to make sure that the score is always in my favor, or more specifically against specific people. But now it's more about progress for me. It's adding the strategy of the court and understanding the dimensions, the geometry of the court, and things like that. Is that a proper purpose, or is that?
Why not? Vadai, for sure, yes. For sure, yes. It's creating perspective and the dynamic of, for sure. But it's like the Rambam says, you have to play sports because it's good for your mental health. It's very good for your mental health. You have to. It's important. He says, play the ball. Play with the ball. So now you want to take it to the next level and master the racket, and what type of racket, and your backhand and your forehand and the back line or whatever, like this, Yeah, 100%. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, it depends again. Are you the purpose, or you getting to a purpose? And what's the purpose? To be healthy, to be mentally healthy, to be able to socialize, to be able to better others, to be able to, I don't know. There's many different reasons why you want to play sports.
Right. I guess I enjoy the progress. I enjoy pushing forward.
That's beautiful. The progress. What did we start with? There is a dynamic between people that allows evolution and the world to evolve. That's very good. That's healthy. That's needed.
I'm sorry. I know it's a mundane question, but I needed to make sure.
It's not mundane at all. It's not mundane. It's just putting it back into a different perspective. Shlomo HaMelech, il y a la porte. Shlomo HaMelech, Shlomo Melech goes so deep into the root of an essential humanitarian problem. So deep. That's something that so many of us fall for. And it's so instinctive and natural, and you don't even see the why not? You don't see the why not. Absolutely, it should be good. And then we understand. You understand? A lot of people, they don't get it. I have everything, I cannot enjoy it, or whatever. Or how can this guy had everything and lost everything? Shlomo Melech is addressing everything. You had it all, you lost it all. Boom, this is why. You have it all, you cannot enjoy it. This is why. It's a guideline. It's a guideline. It's how to behave, how to interact. And not only with others, but with you, with yourself, you with the money, you with your kavod. But it makes so much. Look how accurate the midah keneged midah is. You chose to push away your neshama. You don't respect your neshama, then your neshama will not be respected at the time of the kivua. You don't respect your relationship with your children because you want to amass everything, because you want to control your money. You're going to end up in a situation where you have no money and no children. It's like Shlomo Melech is coming to say something that is so basic. So basic. Midah keneged midah. You get what you deserve. Finished. Now, understand that statement, right? Okay, no problem. Okay, we're gonna dive into the depth of the nefesh of a person, of Adam, and understand it. Okay, kol hamidot yitbatlu, umidah keneged midah le'olam lo tibatel. Chachamim say that all the midot can be cancelled. There's one midah that will never be cancelled. Midah keneged midah. Midah is a measurement against a measurement, in equilibrium. What does that equilibrium means? A midah against a non-midah, right? You have a balance. So here you put a midah, you put a weight. Midah is a measurement, right? But it's also a trait. And then on the other side, you put another measurement, okay? And there has to be an equilibrium. What does that mean? That means that what you generate is what you will get back from Elohim, from the Koach of Hashem in creation. Whatever is missing in what you generate will be missing in what you get. From an emotional level, from a kavanah level, from a physical level, doesn't matter what it is. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu scans the entire process. Not because he manipulates everything, but because these are the rules of nature. The same way there's rules of gravity, there's rules that is called midah keneged midah. And it goes so far. Meaning, again, you can have actions with flaws that will yield results that are with flaws, but that does not dictate your life. The problem here, we're going back to the root and the nature of a person and his behavior in life. You understand? It's not, I just want to make myself very clear. It's not because you acted like this once, or you acted like this for a month, or on a deal, or whatever it is, that means that's it, you're gone. No. We're talking about someone that's how he behaves. Eno sameach b'chelko. And he continues, Ve'ilu haya haya 1,000 shanim pa'amayim. Pasuk Vav. Even if he lives for 2,000 years, meaning he has the longest life, V'tova, and he has the pleasures, Lo ra'a, he didn't see any difficulties. Meaning, and let's say that you had the pleasure and you had the long life, but under the sun, you end up in the same hole. Understand? So this allows. No, you don't.
No, what does that mean?
Oh, it means like this. That even if your enjoyment, okay, is not on what you get, but on the longevity of life. You're able to see your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and your great-great-great-grandchildren for 2,000 years. 2,000 years, right? If this is if this is what's important for you, it's the longevity, the fact that you can live a long life, even that is not worth it. Hakol olech, because everything ends up going. So don't even think that because there's longevity, that means there's something beneficial from it. What's beneficial is your purpose and what you focus on doing and what you try to create and generate.
Are we supposed to, let's just call it table oneg for this world? Meaning, are we supposed to think about this world as simply preparation for
100%. 100%. 100%. העולם הזה הראו כפרוזדור לעולם הבא. It's like a hallway.
Courtyard.
Yeah. Prosdor is like a hallway. You're walking on a hallway to go to Olam Haba. That's this
right.
world.
So if you're searching for oneg in this world, it would be the equivalent of studying for a test and saying, well, I'm going to hang out with my friends while I'm studying for my test because I want to enjoy it, and then you're distracting yourself from actually preparing for the test.
Correct.
Heavy.
Yes.
Real. Heavy,
It's a
but
good way
real.
to put it.
Yeah. And then after that, we're going to stop here because after that, he's going. Then he's going into.
You don't want to say
what we call something into what we call haki balash.
Yeah.
So that's even heavier. Like the talk, anyway.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah. All right. שיהיה לכולם חג שמח.
Thank you, Rav.
שנקבל את התורה באהבה, ביראה,
Amen.
בעזרת השם. That we feel Hashem, we feel His love, we feel His wisdom, His
Amen.
guidance in around us. And very important to be super happy. Because like I said in the show, I don't know if you heard, but all the simha of the entire year depends on these days.
Rav, specifically, can I ask you, what's a good thing to focus on for learning during the holiday? If there's something that you think is appropriate or anything that you think would be a good thing to learn or to read during the holiday?
There is the tikkun that we say at night, okay? That is very long. It's very long, but very beneficial if you can. If not, Mishneh Torah. Try to read all Devarim. Read all Devarim.
In the Chumash, Devarim.
Yeah, the whole book of Devarim.
Okay.
And after that, anything that makes you feel good, that you enjoy learning. The purpose is to be able to enjoy the Torah, to be able to learn and say, I want to dance with Hashem. I want to dance with this book.
Right. So like I chose for Shabbat, I chose the Navi as something to focus on during Shabbat, to spend my time reading, because it's stories and they're crazy stories, the Navi.
Yes.
So I wanted to know if there was something that's good. So I guess Devarim is good for the holiday.
Yeah, the whole Devarim is very, very good. And after that, I mean, you do the whole Devarim, and since we never end the Torah, you start until Shabbat or the Bereshit.
All right.
Before Devarim, you mentioned something else.
No,
Mishneh Torah.
Mishneh Torah.
Yeah, Mishneh Torah is Devarim.
Yeah, before that, you said it was very long.
The Tikkun. Keri'e Moed. The Tikkun. There's a Tikkun of that we read the whole night.
What do you mean Mishneh Torah is Devarim?
Mishneh Torah, the Sefer Devarim is called Mishneh Torah.
Oh, I thought you meant Rambam, Mishneh Torah.
No.
Okay.
Rav, is there any since we're ending a couple of minutes early, any just tidbits of mentality that we should take into the holiday?
Like I said, number one, very important to try to get to a place of happiness from clarity. Meaning, the more clarity you can have on how much you want to connect to Hashem, how much you love Hashem, how much you want to be close to Hashem. It doesn't matter how close you are. Just the clarity of how much you want. It's clear that I love Hashem, I want to love Him more, I want to connect more, I want to understand His Torah more. That's simcha that right now I'm getting, I can get it all. Is the connecting pipeline directly with HaKadosh Baruch Hu that infuses simcha, that translates into what I want, and what makes me happy.
Amazing.
So, Chag Sameach, love you all.
Thank you, Rav. Chag Sameach.
Thank you, Rav.
Enjoy the Chag. By the way, Shavuot, we all of us, we're going to be one. Because the Torah, and we're going to be one, not just us, we're going to be one with Shlomo HaMelech.
Amen.
Wow.
So,
Man, love you, Rav.
By tomorrow,
Thank you,
Chag
Chag Sameach.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Andy, Hag Sameach.